I think what's so interesting about Non-Perfect Strangers is there are so many storylines, and I think they each communicate something differently, but how they communicate it is differently. Some stories there is a little more humor and satire, and some, you know, I mean, we're dealing with loss, a son, a family that's dealing with deep loss and deep guilt. And then you have someone who's dealing with shame, and then someone that's dealing with anger, right? And so how those people deal with it is very different. One person's dealing with addiction, and, they handle it with sarcasm and wit. You see those two, and, you know, Carmel handles hers with these niceties and pleasantries, but underneath that, there's something else boiling. And you look at the Sarconis, and they don't deal, right? They deal with it by acting as if things, you know what I mean? They're dealing with it by trying to push through it, as opposed to allowing themselves to move through it. And there's a difference. And so I think the show has many different genres because of that, because there's a little bit of comedy, there's a little bit of satire, you know what I mean? And there's deep drama, and you know what I mean? And then Masha's you don't understand her, so she's a little unknown. So that means it's a little scary, right? Because anything unknown is, as human beings, we're scared by that. So I think it has a lot of different feels to it. But I think, for me, I think rooted in all things, in our biggest support for one another, it's really compassion. It's the compassion to not judge people for wherever they are. I don't know, that experience that they're having, that could be incredibly dark, could serve thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, or it could serve one, right? And one is as significant as a multitude. So, and if all I can offer you is an okay to say, go to therapy, I've been, you know what I mean? And it's been great for me. If it's just permission to not be okay, right? If that's the service, or someone to say, I've been there, or someone to say, that you will get better, even if it's just a promise of hope, you know what I mean? There's so many ways. And so what I love about this is they don't know each other. They're all together. They're incredibly different. But, especially Carmel and Lars, I mean, he couldn't stand her. But you see a friendship that begins, and and you reveal what he's going through. You know what I mean? He has his own, and I think sometimes, especially with social media, we have a tendency to look at other people and think, oh, look, their life is great.
Yeah.
And then we think if ours isn't, and those are just snapshots, and a life is complex, right? We know that.